一次咧都喺街會見到你哋，非常之開心。咁喺度祝大家一帆風順。
情人共人生，誰經
Thank you so much to Eva Lee and the festival committee for organizing such an amazing festival. I know as the Chinatown subway is finished right up the street, that Chinatown has a bright future, a brighter future because of merchants associations and all the supporters of the festival. So thanks to Eva, and have a great festival, everyone. Thank you.
This is an art form that I fell in love with when I was 16 years old. You know, I'm 45 years old now, and I still, in my head, I'm still 16 years old, you know. This art form keeps me young.
About a year ago, had this idea to work with seniors to create graffiti art. It takes a special organization to really see the vision of that. And of course, the Institute on Aging has that reputation for being progressive and being innovative.
Institute on Aging has about 20 different programs, all with a mission to enhance the life of older adults. These projects are really fighting ageism and redefining what it is to grow older in our society.
Graffiti art may not be for everyone, but neither are gray walls. What we're trying to do is use the power of art to revitalize and deliver energy to our participants. So day one, we focused on sharing the history of graffiti art and hip-hop culture generally. We had a DJ, we had a spoken word poet, and then we sort of capped that off with a coloring session.
Most people are very intimidated when they're introduced to a new art form. And one of the things that I truly do believe is that in street art and graffiti, there is no right or wrong.
Day two is really about a field trip.
In a lot of cities, graffiti is just, you know, is something that's not allowed. And so when you have a place like Chinatown Alley or other places like that in different cities, you walk right down the alley, just like a museum, and you experience it. It's an outdoor, it's a free outdoor museum. Like the whole group was just amazed, you know, they've never seen this kind of art. One of the seniors, he lives literally like a block and a half from that alley, and he's never walked the alley.
And day three is really where we are going to be painting.
Graffiti art in itself gives an outsider a chance to have a voice.
So it doesn't need to look like something, it just needs to feel like something. So what if you want to go outside the lines? You know, so what if the colors you don't think match, or there's drips, or there's whatever, you know? I mean, that's all part of graffiti, right? It's like, it's about expressing yourself, getting out there and saying what you got to say.
And that's kind of what we wanted to do here, is really give the seniors and the older adults a voice, a platform to say in vivid color, we are here, we are relevant, we contribute to the fabric of our community. And that's why we wanted to really change not only the face of this wall, but the face of ageism itself.
People out here, they're 90 years old, painting on the wall and without a care in the world, and just like seeing their faces light up, and they didn't care that it was cold out here today for them. They were, you know, they were ready to go. And I think that's the main thing, you know, is I want them to feel like they're 16 years old still. And we'll just feel like a bunch of young kids out here painting, no matter what age we are.
episode of Let's Talk Sports. I am your host, Mr. Jeremiah Khalid.
Dedicated and you work hard. Work harder than you think you gotta work. You want to listen.
That man. I'm like, okay, for sure. I said, that'd be a good fight. He's like, no, cakewalk. I'm like,
nobody, not one analyst is talking about Jack as a 6 man.
But Jack,
But
Jack,
he's a free agent.
I think he's slanging his shit. Okay.
Free agent.
At the time, Freeman stats, they stood for themselves until, that controversial time where you had to lead the team. But Alex Smith is a bum. He's always been a bum. There go the little troll. I mean, he really is. I mean, you want somebody in there that's going to throw to the running back all game. You want somebody that's going to throw touchdowns to wide receivers.
why does that matter, though?
Because that's how the game, Joe Montana to Jerry Rice. That's how the game was.
But look, I didn't watch a lot of Joe Montana. But one thing I know is the Bill Walsh offense is about slants and hitches, and you pick your spots. That's what the 49ers did with Alex Smith.
And they also scored points. Alex Smith didn't put up a lot of points. When you talking about Joe Montana, you talking about Steve Young, you talking about Garcia. You know what I'm saying? You talking about Alex Smith, and let's not forget the fact that Aaron Rodgers probably could have been there instead, and you look at the comparison.
You won 50-plus games. Now you're hiring a coach that ain't never coached before. To me, that's taking a step backwards.
First thing, if Durant healthy, they're going to be a problem. You already seen the one game that he had against the Warriors, he had like 30 points in the first half, and then before he went out, he was on his way to another 50-point game on him. If he do that for a series, it's going to be
How are
problems.
you going to respond to the media and to the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for the atmosphere of what the Warriors are doing right now. I mean, you look at this last week; these guys have decimated 5 of the best teams in the basketball. An average, won by, you can probably say this faster better than I can. Beat 4 teams by an average of 25 points or something like that, and they're getting all the press, and this guy's fading into the background.
there was nothing fading about him.
Except his hairline.
Yeah, except for his hairline.
We got
I know I didn't get it wrong. Somebody finally lit a fire under the board, but he was fading fast.
Okay.
He was on his way out.
All this dominating that LeBron did, it still took Kyrie Irving
to hit the
that
game winner
three
today.
With 3 minutes left, and you know what we did? We kept shooting threes. We kept shooting.
Where was Leandro?
We're going to win us the game. It shot us out of it. We didn't win the back-to-back championship because we didn't want it, because it would have been over Game 5.
Why
I didn't get it wrong.
Play?
Actually,
You definitely got it wrong.
Actually, I disagree because Curry had to pull up 3 and he threw a bounce pass to Iggy, and Iggy went up and tried to do a funny fake on J.R. Smith, and then LeBron came on top of him and beat his shit against the glass. And actually, if it was a regular season game, Curry would have put up in transition and shot that 3. But since he was missing, he didn't shoot it. He gave a bounce pass to Iggy, and Iggy thought he had a little nice layup, so he didn't go up kind of strong. But then all of a sudden, J.R. jumped. He had to change his shot, and then LeBron hustling ass come all the way from behind and just beat his stuff against the glass. And if Iggy would have went up strong in the first place, dunking like he used to.
At the PUC, we do water, power, and sewer. So water is pretty simple, right? Everybody, we know that it's a very precious commodity. You need the products and the services that we provide to live every day, every single day. You need us. So we need to do, our best at delivering those services, as cost effectively as we can.
There's an exodus of the baby boomer population that has worked for us for many decades.
Almost 50% of the workforce is ready to retire in the next 5 years. So there's a huge potential for new demographics, younger different demographics, more diverse demographics to get into the government and work and have careers.
We've had a very stable workforce for many decades. People don't know about us or what we do because we haven't had to advertise it. But guess what? All those people are retiring.
There's a lot of movement for green jobs. If you want to be a designer, or if you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a policymaker or a community activist, there is a place for you out there.
The job here specifically Oceanside is quite challenging, and it's never a boring day. There's always something going on because of the nature of wastewater treatment. So if you're the person that wants to do a job that you're not always sitting down, it's something to consider. This would be a good fit for you.
The most rewarding part of my job is being able to work on the ground here in the community and have face-to-face interactions and be on the forefront of the PUC's interaction with the public, to be on the forefront of their initiatives, to partner with the public, support the community. There's large-scale impact. That's what drew me to the government, a large-scale impact of the way we live our lives in city and county. So if that's of interest to you, if you want to see change in the way your area, your region, your city, your neighborhood operates, government's a good tool to do that.
Young people can develop skills, knowledge, and abilities to give them a way to build careers for their lifetime. They don't have to stay in San Francisco. These are transferable skills that they can take anywhere. It's an exciting time to be here. There's a lot of new growth, new stuff, new skills, and quite frankly, working with the environment taps into a lot of core values, not only for young people, but for all people.
There is no alternative to water. All life is based on water.
For people that are looking for careers that are sustainable, that will be here, because we do have the one product that everybody's going to need today, tomorrow, and forever. We just want to get the message out that there are careers here for you, and they're always going to need water. You need us to survive, and we need really good, talented people. We're looking for some. You know some? Because we have a career here for you.
As many people know, California is in a severe, severe drought. It's really a concern. We haven't had a good amount of water and rain in quite a few years, and the state is very dry.
So this drought alone that we're currently experiencing is causing a loss of between $2 and $3 billion a year to the agriculture economy in California. It's really important for farmers and also the people who eat food to be aware of the fact that climate change is really a threat to our food security in some ways.
The drought has affected our work by bringing into kind of clear focus the importance of gardening practices that conserve water. And so we should adopt these low water use practices because it helps not only us, but the whole region.
Garden for the Environment is San Francisco's teaching and demonstration garden, and so we are located on a half-acre plot of land, and our purpose is to teach people sustainable landscaping and gardening through a variety of different ways, however they want to get involved. Climate change and greening our planet and protecting those green spaces is one of the biggest things facing the future.
There are so many benefits of growing your own fruits and vegetables. It's delicious. It gets you out into your garden and moving, and it's a very healthy exercise. There's a lot of stress reduction that goes into gardening. There is some stress too when gophers eat your plants, but by and large, it's a stress-reducing activity. There's a statistic that the average American meal travels 1,500 miles from the farm to the table, and we can reduce it to 100 inches, 200 inches, by growing some amount of our food at home.
If people in California were not aware and not taking the drought seriously, we would continue to have a problem. The state will go dry if people were not stepping up and making daily life changes to save our great water.
Some people tell me they think they don't have a green thumb, and I don't think that's possible. I don't think it's true. I think gardening is a learning process, and I think the way that you become a good gardener is by taking an interest and learning.
Composting is at the heart of this garden and at the heart of any garden. Composting is turning what can be considered a waste into a great resource. It is taking cuttings from your garden, prunings, plants that have died, or plants that you've harvested, and turning them into a nutrient, a fertilizer that is usable by other plants. Compost is not only a good fertilizer for your garden, it actually helps to conserve water in your garden. And it does that by kind of soaking up water in the soil.
The healthier and the higher quality soils we have, the more water they can hold, because soil acts like a sponge. Really well-developed soil can store up to 16,000 more gallons per acre. So as we're thinking about having less and less water under climate change, the soil really is one of the greatest solutions to this problem.
Wastewater at home, there's sort of like two main ways that you can recycle those, and one is through a gray water system, which is water that's already been used and redirecting it away from the waste stream, and another way is by collecting rainwater through a rain barrel system.
So this is the most basic rainwater catchment system you could install. And even though it is the most basic system, it still captures 150 gallons of water pretty much in one small storm.
I think water conservation is a lifestyle, and it's something that everybody needs to be aware of. It's something that's also very simple and easy to do. Really, it's just a consciousness of the fact that we need to preserve our water, we need to save as much water as we can, and to change our habits in ways that are very simple but can be long-term benefit to the state, especially during times of drought.
One thing that we can do as consumers of food is really pay attention to where our food's coming from and how it's grown. There's a lot of research that's shown us that food that's grown in a sustainable and organic way actually can reduce the amount of greenhouse gas emissions that's coming from the production of that food, and in some cases can also draw down greenhouse gas emissions.
The best way that San Franciscans can be sustainable through gardening is learning the right plants to plant and how to care for them so that you're not overwatering or over-fertilizing. And being mindful of how we're using our water, but also being mindful that growing green things and gardening is an essential part of combating our drought.